Hello, everybody. I'm doing laundry right now. I made a video earlier, but I didn't post. I deleted it because I think I can make it shorter. Um, I was going through and noticed it was about a week ago. There was like 120 Republicans that got like this white powdery substance in a threatening letter, right? But they never said what it was. After all this time, they still haven't said what it was. So I got to thinking about because somebody on Facebook put, the white powder is symbolic for some reason. But he didn't mention that. He was only mentioning about what they found in the White House, which I don't know if they announced that it was cocaine or if they just said it was white powder substance. But people are out saying, well, it's cocaine and whatever. We know who it's from, but we don't know who it's from. We can assume that it was from Hunter, right? Doesn't necessarily mean it is him. And then I researched what came to my mind was a couple of things. It's the White House. The White House is created out of sandstone, white sandstone, right? Which is a powdery substance once it's ground down, right? And then our bones, right? Our bones considered white powder, calcium, that kind of like thing. So when I started thinking about it, being on the world stage and how they're always putting out things, but they get people to thinking it the wrong direction. It's just like you can see the red and the blue fighting over them, but they can't see the white house. They can't see the center column, the white pillar. I mean, people think about it, since they fight for the red or the blue, that they totally miss the white in the flag. But they won't see that though, because they don't see that as an option. There's two-party system. They only see red and blue. They can't see the walkway going into heaven or that type of symbology. White powder could also represent um, um, the ashes, possibly. Let's see, what else could it represent? That's the only thing that I can see the symbology in. And Scripture mentions about the scribes and the Pharisees, um, how their bones would be ground like white powder or something. That's not exactly what it says, but it's referencing to that. Woe to the scribes and the Pharisees and the false teachers and the false preachers. Um, it was white. S-E is spelled S-E-C. No, SEPULCHRES. Sepulchres. Anyway, but it's representing like a powder, a white powder, that kind of thing. It actually represents like a white stone. And if you think about it, Jacob went up to the mighty angels and laid up against a white stone. The white stone is possibly representing our skull too, as well. So the scribes and the Pharisees, the scribes are like people who are scribing the script, who are writing the script, like Pelosi, McCarthy, Biden, Trump, the Senate leaders, Congress, all of them that are writing the script, the FBI, the CIA, Hollywood, those of the world that are steering God's people away, keeping them divided, and keeping them focused on them as idol worshipers instead of focusing on God. And then, say that God sent him when It even says in scripture that, if anybody says that, I'm here or I'm there, that, they're false, that I'm not there or here. And it also says many will marvel over him at the end times, right? Marvel over evil, the evilest one. It's all right there in the script. But people can't see their own party being corrupt. That's the problem today. When they're both corrupt, in my opinion, and from what I've seen and experienced in life. But again, it's like probably such the beginning of time that people need somebody to lead them. Someone needs to lead the herd. And the people don't want to step up. They don't want to do it. That's the truth. If I talk to any of my friends and say, well, why don't you step up to the plate and do it? Well, I can't. Either I don't have the background for it, I don't have the education, I don't have this, I don't have that. There's always an excuse. Every one of us can rise up and say, I'm going to be running. But again, it's all about money. The only way to get into these organizations or into that type of reality is to have big corporations backing you up with big money. And that should be a big red flag right there, is that if you have to get a lot of money for a campaign, and it just goes back to what evil or money rules the world, or evil rules the world, or evil rules the system, because it's all built on money. It's built on the stock market, the golden calf, the golden bull. But again, that's what other people are mentioning too. They're going to take our money away. They're going to take our money. It's a debt money. You don't own anything. You're not even working for anything, It's like I say, your property taxes, you still paid off the land, but you're still paying the government for property taxes because it's still their land. The cars, you buy registration every 2 years. It says on the tags, for official use only. You have to update your driver's license for your location where you're at, because you're property of the government to these people that you're fighting over. Instead of being free, let my people go free. They're trapped into the system, and now they're also trapped into believing that they own stuff. That it's just an illusion. We know we don't own anything, and to think otherwise is, a debt system. Even I think it was Harvey Weinstein that was one of his quotes out on the thing. Not that I like him at all, but is he mentions that the debt system is how did he put it? The debt system is a compulsive addiction kind of like thing. You just can't get enough, and you want more and you want more. So if you think about this world, they're always trying to get you more and more into debt. And then they ruin your credit for your whole life, and then give you high interest rates. So it's like it's all programmed, just like me and my truck insurance. It goes up every 6 months, at least $25 to $30. I'm like, my goodness. And if I want it cheaper, I have to get homeowners insurance or renter's insurance, which means I have to pay them in the $425 to get $20 off my bill every month. So it's one big scam after another, and we just think it's normal. And people go, oh, I want to go back to the way it was. What, being clueless and not knowing you're controlled by a deep state? It's like they just don't want to mess with that reality. And then, it's like scripture where it says, many at the end times will, dying Christ's name. Well, many of them are dying because they're just not thinking. Many of them are dying because they're feeding these war people. When I was saying about America, it's so interesting. We're not to bow down, make any images or anything like that for God. But so man does it anyway. And then there's the flag, right? Well, I served this country for 8 years in the military. I did my part. But there is a lot of people they're here, they don't even care. They don't even care about the people that served them. So, to make something out to what this flag is, but nobody honors it. Or like Christmas, make something out to what Christmas is or what it's supposed to be, but people don't honor it. They're just too busy buying the most expensive gifts for their spoiled children, just to make them happy. And that's not even what Christmas is all about. It's really quite interesting. Or they find it hard to spend an hour speaking about Christ on Christmas Day when it's all supposed to be about him. It's very, very interesting how our world and how the people think and what they think is theirs, or fear of this one world order when we're already in a one world order. I mean, they can shut down a whole nation, for goodness sakes. Both of them, Trump did this, and the people refused to see it. Oh, his hands were tied. He didn't have any. He had a choice. He could have said no, but he was working with Fauci. And then right after, that, he started telling people to get the jab, going to these private meetings and stuff and telling people, yeah, I recommend it. And then one lady asked him, well, after all these deaths, do you still recommend it? He goes, oh, yeah, there's millions of people that ran and got it. They thanked me for it. Millions? Really? So again, it's all this talk. Feed them what they want to know. Give them answers that are going to hush them up because they're like, oh, millions of people? Okay, well, yeah, they were put in fear. And then their lives, their jobs were put on the line if they didn't get it. It's all this fear-based. And it's like, even from Trump's mouth, that is okay to hear for the people. And they're not questioning about it, except for that lady, which I was proud of her that she brought it up to him. But he just blew her off like, well, millions of people wanted it. And then next question, it's just like, don't even focus on that no more. Let's go to another question, As long as it's all about me and what I can do for you and what I've done for you, And that's why I say I get mad at both parties, because they both are liars. It's like Biden. He's up there telling stories all the time about what he's done for this nation, this country, and then goes to other countries and tell them, oh, yeah, I've been selling top secrets for, my whole career. Just stupid stuff. And then all you hear from Trump is, I've done this and I'll do this and I've done this. Everything is about me, me, me. He's not talking about the people that helped him get it, all those people that on the, behind the scenes that are actually doing all the work. He doesn't give them credit. He takes all the credit. And again, this is what I'm saying, that, do you guys really want somebody like that who just gloats on themselves all the time? I'm just like thinking, it was only like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that he was hated, probably the worst hated person. And then now he gets on stage, says, oh, I'm going to take down Hillary Clinton and all these people, and there's a deep state. And then people are like, deep state, what? Something that he's part of. So, you can play both fields. Because the people have to choose. The people want to choose. They're afraid to say no to both and not do anything. And they can't even see that these people are chosen. They're selected. They're not selected by the people. They're selected by the deep state, the people behind the scenes. Everything's being scripted. We already know that from Biden and Trump, both of them reading these scripts off. There's even certain takes on Trump going, no, I'm not. I'll say this. I don't want to say that. No, I'll say this and I won't say that, But so in other words, someone's still writing the script for them to tell them what to say. That way the people are always going for their party, which, should really piss a lot of people off of how they're being played like that. But it doesn't, That just goes to show you, where God's probably just, pulling the strings and watching everything happen and finding out which one of his children are actually going to be calling out to him and asking him and wanting him to be down here. The second coming of Christ, right? They're all talking about it, but no one's looking for him. They're looking for the rich mob cartel. And if you think about it, Trump's a cartel, and so is Biden. They're cartels. And they're talking about keeping the drug cartels out of Mexico, but yet they're funneling them in. If Trump really wanted to get that wall built in 4 years, he could have had that wall built, but he didn't. And then he used the excuse, well, they're holding back and they're holding him back. Please. This is one big charade because they know the border is always going to get attention. It's always going to piss off the people, and then the right person is going to play the other role. I don't know. I just see through all this stuff. And I guess it disappoints me that the people are no different than they were at the beginning, Because, just think about when Jesus was crucified. None of them called out to God. They called out to free the murderer. Yeah, let the murderer go. Crucify the one who didn't murder anybody and save lives. And that's how it is in this world it is today. And we should be stopping that. But after all these years, that's why the sheep are so easily controlled. Play them a little song and a dance, and they believe you. Better go check my laundry.